Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. It's Mr. Ali here with his community wellbeing show, coming to you from the studios of Radio Aapki Awaz. First of all, before I commence, those of our brothers and sisters that have gone to Saudi Arabia to do their once in a lifetime pilgrimage, huge journey for you. Thoughts and prayers are with you, especially to Brother Javed Akhtar, who was here a couple of weeks ago. Please keep Radio Aapki Awaz in your duas as well. And for those of you that are at the same time going to be celebrating Eid tomorrow or on Thursday as well, on behalf of Radio Aapki Awaz, Eid Mubarak. May you have a pleasant time with your family and friends, and as always, please keep us in your duas. And as always, it is customary for myself and Radio Aapki Awaz to be talking about issues pertaining to Chand Raat just before Eid, and this time round it's going to be no different as well. And someone that is no stranger to our studios, as always, is the chairperson of Alam Rock Traders Association, Mr. Ashok Khan. A warm welcome to you, Brother Ashok, as well. We won't be too long because, as you can imagine, he's Nafis is hustling and bustling. The streets of Alam Rock are hustling and bustling, some legally, some illegally as well. And before I actually talk about today's issues, one thing I must say, I was very saddened to see some of the photos and the videos from the incident around Pelham, just near Haruniya Masjid. The audacity and the fact there's no fear with our young ones who were openly brandishing knives, machetes, and steel bars as well, and hitting each other on the day we were supposed to be celebrating Eid. People are performing their Hajj there, the day of Arafah as well. It is absolutely disgusting and disgraceful, and may the full arm of the law come down heavy on these individuals as well. And what they don't realize is that unfortunately, as always, Alam Rock is then seen in a very negative light as well. So first of all, Ashok, how are you? And nice of you to take some time out to come to our studios.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you very much, Mr. Ali, for inviting me on your show again. And again, from the Nafis team, Eid Mubarak to everybody who's celebrating tomorrow and on Thursday. Please keep us in your prayers as well, and we will inshallah keep everybody in our prayers.
Absolutely. So, Brother Ashok, let's get down to it. We haven't got much time as well. Previously, yourselves, myself, we have got together with a number of stakeholders, including the local councillors, the environmental, the licensing, the trading standards, the local police, and anyone else that has a stake and wants to get involved in the betterment of Alam Rock and make sure Eid and Chand Raat gets passed smoothly. However, this time around, I thought maybe it was me, because as you know, I don't no longer live in Alam Rock. I thought yourselves would be getting together and talking about with the police and the stakeholders about the resources and how previously we used to sort of get the necessary investment in terms of police and stakeholders that will be happening. But this time around, it didn't happen. So what went wrong there?
Mr. Ali, we actually had a meeting with the local coordinator, Yasmin, last week, where we were promised that the police will be on Alam Rock Road from 7 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
And the same amount of resources what we had on Eid al-Fitr.
Sure.
So we were assured that. Unfortunately, now walking up Alam Rock Road, I haven't seen any police. So it's a bit disappointing. We will need to check why they haven't turned up. There may be an incident, but the thing is the resources were earmarked for Alam Rock. So we will be chasing this up.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to come in there as well, Brother Ashok, I also emailed the local sergeant, Kiran Patel, on Monday to invite him, only for a short period of time, to come and accompany you in our studios and give us an update in terms of what their plans are and so forth. And I was informed that they will be patrolling Alam Rock at this time, and it clashed with their patrolling, and that comes as more of a priority, which is understandable, absolutely. But if that's what you're saying is true, then I must say I am extremely disappointed in that. Brother Muhtarim, wa alaikum salam, you are one of the key, warriors of Alam Rock in a polite sense. Please, Muhtarim, if you can take a trip up and down on Rock Road, tell us what this latest situation is and if any of the police are patrolling there. So there's a real breakdown in communication or understanding with our local police force on this matter.
Israeli, I think I have to be very open and honest to say that as the Alam Rock Traders Association and the community who are trying to actually make Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, any celebrations that we have better experience for everyone. Unfortunately, I can't understand how there is someone who's actually putting a stop to this. Within the leadership somewhere that they're putting a stop to this. We can't pinpoint it at the moment. Inshallah, we will. I have requested the local councillors to attend to the meetings. One of them does, the other one doesn't, unfortunately. But as I says, we are disappointed that last year we actually had meetings with trading standards. Everybody's involved, as you've said. But this year, even though we've tried, it may be that the new sergeant that is in place now, he's a bit shy of coming to Alam Rock. So we need to find out and see what the actual reason is.
Well, you should have thought about that before you accepted the post.
That's right. Yeah.
On that matter. And what is very saddening is that all the previous hard works really paid dividends during Jan Daraz for Eid al-Fitr. Everything was in place. Everything went smoothly. There was no iota of any kind of trouble or incident reported. We had smooth traffic. There were designated areas. Everything went smoothly. And we thought, finally, we've got a blueprint of where we can follow each year. And it's now sad to say that it's gone the other way around. And you mentioned earlier when you were making your way towards the studios that there are people doing the Mendi, ladies doing the Mendi all over the place. People are parking inconsiderately and illegally as well. And many other issues are now, traffic is at a, from bumper to bumper. So it's a real mess this time around.
It's not just bumper to bumper. I think it's more of where people are, our sisters, mothers, children are actually coming out and shopping at this time. And when you've got cars parked on the pavements and when you've got pushchairs or even wheelchairs, they have to actually go onto the main road.
Yes.
So they can carry on their journey. It's very, very disappointing where the police then should be taking a heavy hand in regards to the people who do this. Again, very disappointed. I haven't seen any of the leaders, our local leaders, out and about. Some people are more concerned about what they'll be doing in their own kind of, for their own benefit. So I'm not going to mention any names, but I've obviously had some calls and have had some messages. But again, as I said, it's unfortunate. I have emailed the local councillors and I've emailed the local MP. Unfortunately, as I says, it's falling on deaf ears. I can't understand why, Mr. Ali. Inshallah, we will. We're transparent.
Yeah.
And hopefully, the people who are involved they will be transparent at the end of the day.
And what's upsetting is that you're not asking for anything personally. This is for the traders. This is for the benefit of the shoppers. This is for the benefit of the local residents as well, who are supposed to be represented by these individuals or should be certainly working for the benefit of these. And if this is the response that you're getting, then I think the community at large need to know where their elected representatives and their non-elected representatives are. So moving on.
Sorry,
yes.
The other thing I would like to say, and again, it's disappointing. It's not just the actual leaders, even our traders, some of our traders. I've actually sent an email and we've got a WhatsApp group, and I've explained to them that, look, we do not want this to end up like Coventry Road.
Absolutely.
And the way this is going on, it will end up like that. It's all well you giving space to people to actually have Mendi tables or other illegal traders on the street. It's okay, for one day, but this is going to happen on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Okay, which is blighting the area, which is obviously causing an issue to our local residents. The way the cars are parked, the way people are on the footpath. I can just last week, the council actually collected 38 bags of rubbish.
Wow.
From
38 bags.
38 bags of rubbish from Alam Rock in one day.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, we try to educate people in the sense that, look, take your rubbish away with you. If the bins are full, please take it away with you.
Yeah.
Go home, put it in your own bin. You do, I do, other people, So it's just sad that even our own traders who are letting people sit outside their shops thinking, well, it's okay for one day. But trading standards and the city council are watching each and every one now to say that because they're outside, they're charging them some sort of
absolutely, subletting the area.
Yeah, so they are watching them, but again, it's disappointing. It's hard work. As you rightly said, all the hard work we put together for Eid al-Fitr. We never had one video of Alam Rock issues in Alam Rock, but unfortunately today it's and I will openly blame the local leaders and the police for this.
Yeah, I agree. And then one thing I would certainly suggest is after this, let's have a real evaluation of what went wrong. And those that are responsible, make sure that we take our learns from this and make sure it's never repeated again. Because it has to be done well in advance. And I know previously, certainly the sergeants and also the inspectors, they were very forthcoming in building those dialogues and bridges with the local community and stakeholders. And I hope that we can get to that position once again. So if I could just talk about some of the issues that you've raised now, especially with around the 38 bags. One of the key things that you've always been fighting for is that we need some more litter bins, scattered across more equally around Alam Rock, depending on the footfall and the frequency of people coming in. The amount of rubbish bins that we have isn't adequate. And I know I've petitioned various people to see whether we can get those installed, but are you able to give us any kind of good news or any update on that particular matter?
No, not really. Last year, I actually had the cabinet member for Environment Services to say that they will do a walk on Alam Rock Road and for us to identify exactly where we require these extra bins.
Yes.
We actually made an appointment and they didn't turn up.
Yeah.
So we are still there, basically. So.
Any reason why? You would think that the whole point of taking time out to make an appointment that you would honour it or certainly send your apology.
Yeah, that's right. I think I just can't understand the reasons why. Because look, myself, yourself, and other people in the community who are trying to work for the community, trying to work for the local traders. Unfortunately, there's always somebody who's gonna, and I will put it in a bad way, that will push something in the back of you. Do you know what I mean? And that's unfortunate. And I've said so many times, hundreds of times I've been on this radio, and I would say it openly, I don't have any personal agendas.
No.
Okay? I honestly want to do everything for my community. I've lived here most of my life. Okay? And I just want to give something back.
Absolutely.
But when people are constantly against you in the sense that they want something, for themselves, then it's not going to work.
No. And actually what's also disappointing is the perception that Alam Rock can't be any better, that we don't deserve these same resources or the rights as other communities or other areas as well. And if we settle for that, then unfortunately we will always be scraping the barrel.
Mr. Ali, there's supposed to be a plan of
ward
each
plan.
A ward plan for each and every area as how what is required within the area, and that obviously brings in the resources. And that was supposed to be into the council in January last year. Unfortunately, Alam Rock is one of the actual areas that they haven't actually submitted any ward plan. Now, who do we question on that?
Absolutely.
It's the local councillors.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the ones who are supposed to be doing. But every time we have a meeting with them, there's action plan, action plan. Where is this action plan for the Alam Rock?
Yeah, absolutely.
They need to be held accountable.
And you're not the only one, Brother Ashok. I've emailed them twice now on behalf of the B8 network to give us the award plan, and you won't be surprised that they haven't answered. And second time around, I actually copied in the neighbourhood action coordinator, and also the new leader of the city council, John Cotton, and I still haven't had a response. And the thing is, you feel like giving up, but then you realise that then you're letting these guys get away from what they paid for and what they elected for, and then as a community we will lose out that resource that is their entitlement, and that's their hawk in one way, but to other areas, and again we will be losing out. So if I can just read out some comments. By Javed, how are you? Hope you're well, all the way from Saudi Arabia. We did give you a shout out from the start of the show, and we'll do so again. Please, I know you keep us in your du'as. I've made du'as for all that requested. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept my du'as, and my hajj is kabul. Ameen, of course. Ameen. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, my nephews from obviously Nafis, the whole family's gone.
Oh, really? Oh, mashallah. Mashallah. Mashallah Mubarak to you as well. So we have a brother Ashok from the chair of Alam Rock Traders Association, just giving us a insight into where we are as well. So just moving on. So this seems to be this is supposed to be an uplifting show, really. The night before Eid and stuff. But hopefully we'll have something positive to touch on. So we talked about obviously the lack of bins and other resources. The other thing that I'm also going to touch on is in terms of, I know Mr. Ikram from Radio Aapki Awaaz and yourselves, you've been very good at putting those notices on shop windows telling people where to park on what side. Do we know from the local traffic wardens whether there has been a decrease in the number of fines that have been issued?
Originally it was, and when we had this meeting with the local coordinator, Yasmin, the other day, and the question was asked, why do you think? And we said, look, the actual signs are very difficult to understand.
Sure.
Okay, so can they be simplified and somehow so people understand what side you can actually park and which side you can't? So she's obviously taking that back to the council. I'm not too keen on what there's going to be a good positive answer for us, but we will try. Originally, when we actually put these posters out, people did start looking at them and understood that. But when there's so much traffic in and out, then people don't always look at it. So I think just making the signs a bit more user friendly would help.
I agree. I mean, when I park on Alam Rock Road, it's not that much. I have to read the signs twice in order to really understand whether I'm on the right side or not. And I'm.
The problem is different sections have different kind of timing.
That's right.
So that's confusing as well.
Yeah. A lot of people are getting caught out. I think if I remember right, when the figures were published, Alam Rock Road was either number 1 or number 2 most ticketed road in the whole of this country. And none of that penny.
Just recently we have had 24,000.
Yeah, and none of that money gets invested back into Alam Rock at all. So that's a very sad state of affairs as well. Another comment by Brother Ifzal. I hope you're well, my brother. I don't think they have the capacity to sit down and discuss and put pen to paper and get to an agreed plan. This is an ongoing issue in many local areas. I suppose, other areas, I don't know, I don't want to comment, but we have a councillor, Miriam Khan, who is a graduate. She's in the cabinet. So for me, I don't take on board that for one moment. It's just a question of whether they wish to, whether they have the intention to, whether they actually even care. Because she's capable. She's proven it previously. She is. But on this matter, she's just gone completely silence, radio silence, whether it's by email or by any other modes of communication, and that's sad to see. So, Brother Ifzal, I think we should just call it.
You just said the actual name, so I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit, because I actually get WhatsApp messages from certain councillors, and it was all about the Mehndi night at Masjid Ali, and I asked the question, why have I got this message? I actually don't do Mehndi.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And literally, my head was bitten off. What's the problem? Do you know what I mean? So my concern is that they're quick enough to actually send WhatsApp messages and things like that on Facebook and everything else on the social media when it comes to doing what they want to. But when it comes to the community, they're silent.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm just going back to, recently, as you know, we had the Metro Mayor in Alam Rock.
Yes.
And our concerns were raised with him. And he was quite positive. And again, our councillors, our leaders knew that what the Alam Rock area needs, what it requires, is a car park.
Yes.
I walked down to Alam Rock yesterday and went to Al Halal car park, which was actually sold to Al Halal for £1.
Yeah.
Okay, that car park is used for Al Halal, and actually there's a sign there to say that if you go into Al Halal, the minimum spent is £5.
Oh, really?
Okay,
That's new.
and you
That's new.
can get the actual ticket stamped, and you don't have to pay anything. But if you don't, then you have to pay.
Then you have to pay £1.
Okay, so and that was for £1. So who's making the money?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We've now again, which the area that we designate, which was supposed to be for a car park that we've been requesting for many years on Adley Road. The last meeting we had with the city council, they said to us, well, we're thinking about putting this as a sports centre, and when we challenged that you've already got Adley Park, spend some money in Adley Park rather than spending it here. And then suddenly we find out on the day of the Metro Mayor actually coming into Birmingham, into Alam Rock, is that this is going to be sold. And they're asking for people for bids. I have spoken to the local councillors. I've even emailed the local councillors and the actual MP, local member of parliament. I've not had anything back, and I'm saying to them that you need to put a stop to this.
Yes.
And again, we're not asking for ownership of this land. We're saying to the council, provide us this.
Yes.
Right. You take the actual, the fees or whatever, parking for that. We're not too bothered about. All we need is some parking.
You want the amenity, don't you?
Yeah. As you know, with the HS2 coming through, at the moment, you've also got the Dudleston Manor Road that is still closed.
Yes.
That's over a year, and the traffic is absolutely a nightmare.
Wherever you go. Boyer Road is closed at the moment,
exactly.
right at the top.
Yeah.
Alam Rock Road is constantly closed going towards A47. As you mentioned also, that particular...
So that's the reason we've asked for this feeder car park. And unfortunately, again, but because, and I would say openly, it's Alam Rock. Okay. And I'm not going to shy away from it, that it's Alam Rock. So people who are there in the higher places, they don't really care.
No.
Because I suppose even though we shout loud, but probably don't shout the right way.
Is that what you think it boils down to? Is as a community we are asleep, and those one or two of us that do speak up, we get in the neck, and we are almost isolated or maligned in some other way in terms of a character assassination. So they know that we're going to shout for a couple of days, and then we'll go back to our day jobs or our busy lifestyle, and just get away with it as well. Like now, we've not had a ward meeting since December 2022, and there's supposed to be minimum of 4 in a year, or at least 6 in a year, and we've not had one, and we're now on the cusp of July. Are they taking the community of Alam Rock in contempt?
I feel they are.
I agree.
And I feel they are. And as I says, until there is opposition, they are too complacent.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not really bothered.
Yeah.
So as long as they get their 18,000 or 35,000 pound a year, they're not. I don't think they're bothered.
Yeah.
And I'm, if somebody wants to come and challenge me on that, by all means, I haven't got an issue.
Sure.
I've said so many times before, I don't advocate any political party. But when it comes to the community, I will stand up. And if you think that we are going to go away, we're not. Brother Ikram's been working very, very hard, and this is the reason now we are now actually we've got a petition which we ask for everybody to sign, even the local community, for this car park. So we can actually, because this is the answer that I've been given by one of the councillors is give us a petition. Come on, we require this. Why do you need a petition?
Absolutely.
You need to stop this.
Absolutely.
You need to stop this. Okay, the sale of the land.
Absolutely. So just to sort of give a bit of a background and context to the listeners and the viewers. So there's a plot of land not too far, or actually it's opposite to the entrance to Al Halal car park. And at the moment it's a concrete sort of a rectangle where for many decades now, young people have played various kind of supports over it. And for me, what is disappointing is the council have decided under our noses, without consulting the local community, decided to put it on the market. And I wouldn't be too surprised if they've already sold it. But anyway, so now the local traders are saying, look, Island Rock, with its the number of car parking fines are issued, the lack of car parking, the number of people that are going off.
It's just not the local traders; it's the local community's need as well.
Absolutely, I'm coming to that. So a lot of the traffic is then going onto the side roads and then parking in front of people's houses, and people are having now to either double park or park half a mile or a mile away. The car park that has already been made in or built not too long ago now on the corner of Rainer Road, I believe. That's been a huge success, but it's only a small drop in the ocean. So what we do need is we need another car park where people can easily walk. It's only maybe a 5-minute walk away, if that, from Island Rock. So the Island Rock Traders Association, in collaboration with Radio Aapki Awaaz, have got a petition drawn out, and we would like to request any person that comes and shops in Island Rock, anyone that lives in Island Rock, anyone that trades or has an interest or a stake in Island Rock, for you to get involved. These will be, if not already, will be distributed to all shops on Island Rock Road. So please lend your support to this worthy cause as well. And it's a shame that the council is asking for petitions, because he can object on his own right. But nonetheless, we will also go through the proper forthright channels as well, and we will be submitting this to the right person in due course as well. So that gives you an indication where we are. If not, you can also see the plot of land on Island Rock Community Forum page as well, so that'll give you an indication of where we are as well. I'm just going to read some of the comments out and then get your thoughts on that, if I can. What is the ward action plan for Island Rock? Brother Javed, this is not something that has been done. It's an action plan that every ward has to do in terms of what are your top 2 or 3 priorities and what you want to work on and how you're going to address and what sort of resources and sort of funding that you need. I think each ward plan has roughly about £150,000 attached to it, and if you don't have a ward plan, then you can't channel and sort of touch that £150,000, which the local community in Island Rock desperately needs and can benefit from. I hope that gives you a bit of a oversight. What are we going to do to tackle the issues of facing Island Rock? Absolutely. We need to identify those. We need to sort of have a consultation. We need to have a wide-ranging views, and then pick 3 of those that are the most urgent priority for the people of Island Rock. We need to work with third sector organisation and charity progress as the agenda, as funding is non-existent in local government. Absolutely. And to be fair, we know HS2 is on the cusp. We know that there's other funding organisations that will invest, and that is a separate point. But we need to save that land first from being soiled before we even think about anything else as well. What we're doing about lack of youth provision on Rock. Any update on the base? What is Liam Byrne MP doing? Liam Byrne, as Mr. Khan has said, that because, I even suspect, Ashok, that because Island Rock is no longer going to be part of his constituency in the next general election, whether it's in 2024 or early part of 2025, his boundaries are changing. Shabana Mahmood MP will be taking over this. Whether he even sort of cares or bothers about Island Rock, I don't know. That is a question that I think only Liam can answer. You need to hold your MP. We are absolutely, we are holding we're trying to anyway, and a councillors accountable. Otherwise, it's a lost cause. We need to upskill our community. People travel from other towns and cities to shop at Almrock Road. People from out of town do not know about the parking restrictions. Well said. Eradicate internet poverty, which was evident during if a road that attracts that much traffic needs car parking space, we need to welcome those that travel into the area. Absolutely. Happy to sign the petition. Thank you, Uzal. Babul Baz, how are you? Uzal was saying it's good. So real different range of opinions and views. Anything that you want to add around the petition or the plot of land, Brother Rashid?
I think it's very important that we do sign this petition because, as it says, the local councillors who's I think I take it as a derogatory remark, that and patronising that he wants a petition where he knows that there's a need and it needs to be stopped. The sale of that plot needs to be stopped, and that then we can start having a conversation in regards to.
So we did invite him today.
Yeah. And just to let you all know that it's not just a one-way thing with Brother Rashid. We did invite our local sergeant. We also invited our local councillor, in particular Councillor Mohammed Idris. And did he respond?
No reply.
Yeah, there's no reply to that message as well. So, like I said, it's just the...
Isn't it then by time our community then woke up and said, look, you know what, I'm sorry, but we need something in our area.
Yeah.
You've got the drugs issue, you've got cars, racing cars, and the balloons, that is a main problem, and that is an issue, right? But again, until the councillors or the leaders, I would say the councillors and the MPs, push the trading standards to then start looking at this, and I can guarantee you, if this was happening in certain areas, I keep saying this, the trading standards would be there like a shot, and they will be making sure that they will be sending people in, underage and people to just as using them as what's the word I'm looking for, as
a bit of a sort of a sample or guinea pig,
guinea pig, right? So they can actually go in there and then find out. But again, nothing is happening.
But we have told the police on numerous times which are the shops that are selling these to underage children, especially those big bottles. Yeah. They have no excuse of selling those, but you will see them every street corner. Brother Yaqub, who's gone to Kashmir now, I was with him last week and he was saying, every second car now you see young people, and they're not hiding it either. That's the worst thing. They're not hiding it and they're just puffing away.
Yeah, definitely very scary. I mean, I was driving down Clodshire Road the other day, and I'll be honest with you, and there was a Jeep coming towards me, and I thought, you know what, I better slow down because it's not gonna. This ain't gonna slow down.
Yeah.
And there was actually a lady driving, and she actually had the balloon in her mouth.
Yeah.
So again, God forbid if something happened, there are sisters, there are our daughters. We need to stop this. But when is our community gonna wake up?
Yeah.
When it's too late.
No, I agree. And Mr. Baz, community is to blame, and there's an element of that when you put faith in elected representatives who have a record of failure. Nothing will change. So if it's like you're expecting each time that we elect these people, there's going to be a different outcome.
Mr. Ali, the thing is, every 4 years they come around. I want to ask people how many times have they seen the councillors walking around the streets of Almrock, looking at the issues, knocking on people's doors and asking, what are the issues? Like, what do you want us to do? Guarantee you, the day before the actual elections and on the day of the election, they will be out in force, knocking on people's doors. Okay, and I'll put it like this, as a community, we are mugs. Because we will go and vote for them just because, either they're our clan or either they're from our area, we will vote for them. Isn't it by time we said, look, enough is enough, whether it's Labour, and we've had this thing about Labour all our lives. Why, let's...
That blind loyalty to Labour.
Blind loyalty, that's right. You know what I mean? Isn't it by time we said, okay, we will support you, but we want to know what you're going to do. right? But we want proof of what you've done and what you're doing.
I must say, Brother Ashik, this particular term has been extremely disappointing. We had the elections last year, and the last term wasn't the great, but they got in with another huge majority. And for me, you are rewarding failure. And, if I was, Muhammad Idris or Miriam Khan, I'd be thinking, you know what, I haven't hardly done anything. And I've just come back with record figures. And, we're all humans. We're all obviously, busy with our life. You'd be thinking, without even doing anything, I'll be re-elected again in 4 years.
Yeah.
So human nature would say, look, let me go and do something else. Let me, spend time in the cabinet. Let me play party politics with Labour. Let me do all the other stuff except for working on the needs of the community. Because I know in 2 years' time, when I knock on the door or when it's time to vote, they'll be voting me in again.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where I'm saying the community needs to wake up and needs to have a look at alternatives. And if there's any alternative, and the way I see it, as it says, I don't advocate any political party.
No.
But when you think about certain things, and we always look at the national, what's happening nationally.
Yeah.
What we need to look at is what's happening locally. Okay. How is the local council? Because they're the ones who make decisions for Alum Rock, Sparkhill, Sparkbrook, Hall Green, and Sutton Coldfield. Not the people who are sitting at the Parliament House. They will not make the decision.
That's right.
These are the ones who will make the decisions. Okay? And then we need to make them accountable as for what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
I would say to people, when they come onto your door, say to them, okay, tell us in the last 4 years, what have you done for us?
Yeah.
We got filth everywhere. Okay? God forbid, please, it hurts me when people say to us, it's not Alum Rock, it's Alum Thrak.
I know.
It hurts me.
It pierces me as well.
You know what I mean? So, and it's, I think it's by time we actually woke up.
Yeah.
And we said, enough is enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Another comment that's come through as well. Can you please look into the 24-hour shops? Do commercial properties have any rules and regulations on the number of hours they can remain open as well?
Mr. Ali, again, I've been asking the local councillors who are, one of them is part of the actual planning department. I think he's the chair of the planning department. And there's obviously, and I've been asking for them to bring out the planners, okay, the officers, so they can have a look at what's going on again in Alum Rock. And I've raised this to them so many times.
Yes.
It's not once, even not just in meetings, even when I see him on the street, and I'll stop him and I'll say, look, what have you done? There's no answer. Okay. One councillor I do see, the other councillor I've never seen. The only time I get it's a WhatsApp message is either the rubbish is going to be picked up from here or the Mendi is going to be done in the car park. So that is the only messages I get. And again, it's their duty to provide the action plan.
Yes.
Okay, they haven't.
No.
Okay,
so not at all. Not at all. And you mentioned about some of the buildings or some of these extensions to the shop fronts. It's absolutely hideous. They're very cheap. They're very nasty. And they just bring and denigrate the whole area. And again, this is something that the trading standards need to take firm action. And we try to do our best, but this has to be regularly enforced and regularly monitored. Otherwise, this will become a shantytown. This will become...
It is a shantytown now, Mr. Ali.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say that. It is a shantytown. And we've let it happen. We, as a community, have let it happen because we have supported those people who should have been working for us. They haven't. And all I'm saying to you that this area is going to end up being like Coventry Road come next Eid. Okay. I've always said that we need support from the community.
Yeah.
Community needs to come out and forget your personal agendas.
Yeah.
Please, I will say to every community worker, forget your personal agendas. Come out for the community.
What's that?
Please. Again, I would say that you come out for the community. Let's do the cleaning. Let's walk around. Stop these beggars, prostitution within Alum Rock. and that's happening already. And I'm sorry, I use that word, but it's happening, and we got to be aware of it.
Yeah, no. Well, so we're just now on the end of our show as well. I'd just like to ask you one final question, really, before I ask you to wish everyone Eid Mubarak. Is just generally, what's the sort of future plans for Al Rock Traders Association? I know there are many issues, but at the same time, with the quality of people that you've got with you, what are the sort of stuff that you're working on?
Well, our main concern at the moment, the two concerns that we've got is obviously the parking and the rubbish, and also with the illegal traders, because the traders are complaining that these illegal traders are coming and they're selling their goods, and then obviously makes an issue for them. But so these are the kind of things that we're actually trying to work on. The policing, it's not just Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha that we're actually saying to the police, you need to have a bit more kind of a presence. We're saying to them, you need to have a presence, and with regards to Alum Rock Road, because a deterrence is always better than a cure. As you say, prevention is better than a cure. And we're also now looking at putting a bid in with HS2, asking them to actually support us on making Alum Rock better.
Absolutely.
Okay, including whether they can, spend some money or give money to, help us with this initiative of the car park. Okay, so
there's no direct, funding that's required by the council. We just need it to be secured so we can bring external funding. We know the council is broke. They've got no money personally. We can either use the ward plan money or HS2, which is on the border of where this place is, to say, look, let's regenerate this area into what the community wants. And to be fair, Brother Rashid, I'm not precious whether it's a car park, whether it's a community centre or a sports centre, as long as the local community benefit from it, rather it being sold out to someone who doesn't care or will use it for personal gain. Because there's not many free land around Alum Rock now. They're all being sold off, and like I said, just hang on to whatever we've got.
It's not just with the HS2. We were constantly pursuing them in regards to that. You should actually have people working from the local area. The youngsters who are looking for a job, unfortunately, and I know they have been actually coming into the jet shop now, trying to promote their vacancies and so on. So again, I would say to you, on the days that they do, please go in, have a look at the jobs that they've got. Again, if you need any support, we are here for you. The jet shop is there for you. Yourself, Mr. Ali, you're quite prominent in what you do. You are there for them. Absolutely. You've got our telephone numbers, email addresses. They're on the actual, leaflets flying around. Yeah. So please, don't hesitate. We're part of that community. We want you to be part of us. So,
absolutely. No, most definitely. We're just going to leave it there if we can. And just last point from me, I know Ladypool Road, Broad Street and also Soho Road have formed something called the Business Improvement District. And that is something that I know allows a huge amount of investment to come in. So you can then put, flower beds, you can put lighting, you can put toilets there, you can put seating, you can put, really improve and decorate the area. And I think that's also something
this has been pushed onto us, and they've spoken about it. Yeah. Again, in the meetings, I have said to them, look, you need to give us figures.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to give us realistic figures that we can actually take it to the traders. Absolutely. And say, look, this is how it's going to benefit us. Okay. These are the advantages and disadvantages. Okay. Unfortunately, again, that hasn't materialized. So how could we actually go to the traders and say, let's join this? I know the local MP is pushing for it, but we need figures that it's going to cost the traders, because it will cost the traders. So we want
an increase in business rates. There is definitely, no, absolutely. So food for thought. On that note, Brother Rashid, I'm going to give you the final message to all your. You're the chair of Alum Rock Traders Association and also as a business owner on Alum Rock Road.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Ali. Again, on behalf of the Alum Rock Road Traders Association and a local trader, I wish each and every one of you a beautiful, peaceful Eid. and everybody who's gone to Hajj Mubarak to them, and may Allah Ta'ala accept all their worships, and all our brothers and sisters. I wish you Eid Mubarak.
I mean, what a better way to finish the show. Until next week, God bless and look after yourselves.